Happy Showcase Sunday, everybody. And this week's Showcase Sunday is the amazing, outstanding Alan Hughes from the Federation of Small Businesses. And this week's Showcase Sunday is an absolute pleasure. I cannot wait to find out all the top tips from Alan. But what we're going to do straight away is introduce yourself, Alan. Who are you? What do you do, and why you do it? And add on. I'm going to add on. And how long have you been doing it? Because that's really special as well.
Well, good morning, Alison, and everybody listening. My name is Alan Hughes. I'm a membership advisor for the Federation of Small Businesses. My role I've been doing for 26 years, so I must be doing something right. And the FSB, Federation of Small Businesses, it's a national organisation. It's a not-for-profit organisation owned and run by its members. Been going since 1974. It's actually Europe's biggest business support organisation, but we're not in Europe. We're only in the UK. All from a game of golf in 1974 on Lytham St Anne's golf course. It's grown to be Europe's biggest business organisation. And it's literally 160,000 members strong. So we eclipse all the other major organisations. And because we're a not-for-profit organisation, we've been able to put a package of benefits to give our members a lot of support. But before all the benefits of being a member, we are a non-political campaigning voice for businesses. We're a lobby group, we're a pressure group for small businesses. Just one example of the work we've done. If a lot of people who I'm talking to now are in the hospitality industry, if you're getting the small business rate relief, that's 100% down to the FSB that you're getting the small business rate relief. We got that in 2008. So under £12,000 rateable value, there's no rates to pay. Our main campaign this year is to get that rateable value up from 12 to 25,000. Labour have agreed to it, which means nothing because they're not in power, but you can then go back to the Tories, which we are doing, and saying, look, if you don't give it, well, there's going to be a lot of people voting against you come election time. So we are certainly non-political, but very political, if you understand what I mean. And when COVID came out, we got the grants of the furlough scheme. First thing the Chancellor said in front of all the press, he said, before I announce this package of benefits, I need to place on record my thanks to the Federation of Small Businesses for all the input. So that's the sort of things we do behind the scenes that members don't often see, or non-members certainly don't see. But you can't just moan about things, you've got to prove things. So that's what we do, we gather information and submit it to the government and the opposition as well. But we also have a package of benefits that really support and protect our members' businesses. We have a legal hub where members can download, there's about 1,400 to be honest, 1,400 of the most commonly used documents. So there literally is everything for employment law. You've every type of contract. You've got contracts with a fixed, contracts with a privacy notice on. You've got fixed term contracts, casual contracts, 0-hour contracts. But on top of that, there's about 69 policies that you could add to it. So you could add address policy, mobile phone policy, social media policy, confidential agreement. So the contracts are as simple, or they are as detailed as you think you need them to be by just adding the policies to the basic contract of employment. But we are on the end of a phone 24/7 to help our members with all this as well, because the saying in business is you don't know what you don't know. Do you need 2 policies, 10 policies? I don't know. If you speak to our lawyers and tell us how you operate, we'll tell you exactly what you need and we'll email it across to you. So there is no nagging doubt in the back of your mind if you cover yourself for this or that scenario. We'll make sure you are covered for everything. There is everything for health and safety, like risk assessments, health and safety policies, accident reporting. There's even some health and safety training courses, and they're free. So say you want to do a first aid at work course or a food safety basics course, whatever. They're all 30 to 60 minute narrated videos. So you just sit and take notes. There is a quiz at the end. If you get more than 70% pass, you get a certificate. But they're all health and safety executive approved and free. There's a big business section. So you've got things like contracts for services, consultancy agreements, terms and conditions, online terms and conditions. If you're tendering, some of these tender questions now is, have you got a anti-slavery policy or anti-money laundering policy? Everything's there. If you're tendering, all them policies are there. You've got shareholder agreements, director service agreements. There's a big debt recovery section. So if people owe you money, all the letters are all printed out for you. There's even a really good late payment calculator that calculates a daily rate. So if somebody owed you money from the start of the year, you just put it in and the amount, and it calculates a daily rate. And also on top of the daily rate, it calculates you can charge them compensation. So it really does bring it home to people when they get these letters that you've got an organisation behind you. It's not just come from you. You have real professional people behind you doing all this, because the letters are so well crafted by proper barristers. And then there's everything for GDPR as well, all policies for general data protection regulations. Would you believe, Alison, it's 5 years ago this month that general data protection GDPR came out. So all the policies are on there. There's even some GDPR training courses. There's 3 on there. If you're in a supply chain, some of the companies have started asking the supply chain, have you had GDPR training? If you watch the 3 videos on our legal hub, you can tick the box, you've had GDPR training. Yeah, so about 1,400 of the most commonly used documents on the legal hub. Everything's legally correct. Everything's bang up to date. Trust it will always be correct. On top of that, we have a legal protection scheme that protects our members' businesses. So if our members ever face a criminal prosecution, our lawyers would represent them free. That will be trading standards, weights and measures, health and safety, food hygiene, environmental health, fire, road traffic act, anything whatsoever, we represent them free. Don't confuse this benefit with public liability. A lot of people say, I think I've got that covered with my public liability, but you haven't. Your public liability is a public, we cover against the government departments. We had a builder just recently crossed the field with a cherry picker. He pulled a power line down and burnt a brand new house to the ground. You don't do that on purpose, but you're guilty. You can't get out of that one. His public liability paid for the house that got burnt down, but along came the health and safety, and they prosecuted him. And he was facing a £10,000 fine and/or 6 months in jail. Because our lawyers represented him well, we got him off with a £300 fine. So it was a little slap across the wrist.
Wow.
He's still in business. He's a bit wise. He won't do that again. But there was no legal fee. So it's a benefit we hope our members never ever need, but we do support our members.
Yeah.
We pay for jury service. If you get called up for jury service, we pay up to £249 a day, up to £2,500. So you cancel it on a 2-week court case, we pay you for it. And if staff get called up, we pay the company if the staff get called up as well, because you'd have to pay overtime to cover for them. The 2 big benefits is if you ever have to sack anybody or make anybody redundant, don't even accept resignation or lay anybody off without ringing us first. We'll give you a procedure to follow. If you then ended up in an employment tribunal, FSB lawyers would represent you free. We pay all the legal costs if you lose and pay the award. So there's no cost to our members in an employment tribunal. We're the only business support organisation who's big enough really to pay for everything. So there is no cost to our members. And you're looking at about £25,000 now with the legal fee and the award. It's about £25,000. There's no cost to the members. We cover that. And the other big one is we're covering for tax investigations. So if you ever face a tax investigation, don't talk to them, don't show them paperwork, phone us. Our accountants come to you. We actually work very, very closely with your accountants. We pay them for information we require from them, so they don't lose out, but it's also who represent you in the meetings. All the accountants at the FSB are ex-Inland Revenue, ex-VAT inspectors. More importantly, though, they do this job every day. Most accountants would only do 1 or 2 investigations a year. Our guys are full-time investigating specialists. So the 2 areas the FSB is seen as the best support in the country is employment protection and tax protection. And also another benefit is we have a legal advice line. It's 24/7, 365 days a year for anything business or personal. And I cannot stress enough just how good the helpline is. Most helplines, like ACAS, banks, insurance companies, them helplines are manned by paralegals. And they know a little bit about a lot of things. I'm not knocking paralegals, but their advice is a general view in good faith. The FSB helpline is the only helpline in the country manned by barristers. There's 50 barristers at any one time. There's chartered accountants, specialist solicitors. Whatever we tell you is a research answer, it's not an opinion. So going back to the employment law, if we said to you, yes, go ahead, sack that person, if we give you wrong advice, we'd have to represent you free in the tribunal, pay all your legal costs if you lose, and pay the award. So it's in our interest to always give you the correct answer. Then we save you money. We've got our own FSB insurance services, so get a quote off us at least when you come to renew your policies, because it literally is buying power of 160,000 members. We can go to the market on our members' behalf. Because we are a not-for-profit organisation, we cut out the middleman. We pass all the savings back to the members. So we usually save you quite a lot of money on insurances. We do debt recovery, although the letters are all on the legal hub. A lot of our members don't want to do it. They want us to do it, so we'll do the debt recovery from £30. The big one that a lot of people join us for is our free banking with the Co-op Bank. It's free banking for life with a fee-free overdraft. It's literally been voted by Money Facts magazine 5-star business account. Most businesses will be paying, at least even the small businesses will be paying typically £200 to £600 a year just to put your own money in and take your own money out. You wouldn't have to as an FSB member if you're with the Co-op. It's no charge for life with a fee-free overdraft. Then we have a thing called funding platform. We have access to 134 lenders. So if you needed to borrow money, it is for anything. It's cash flow, it's a tax bill, it's equipment, it's vehicles, anything whatsoever. Funding platform is a bit of software where one application goes to 134 lenders. They're all specialist lenders, so 8 might hold their hand up at what you're proposing. We'll vet them 8 for you, tell you who's offering the best rate, but there's no credit checks with it. And what I mean by that is if you go on the internet and look at 4 or 5 websites for funding for a project, you'll get a bad credit rating because you've left a footprint on 4 or 5 websites, which I don't agree with. I think you should get a good credit rating because you're doing due diligence. But no, they score you badly. They think you're panky looking for money. So one application on our bit of software funding platform, 134 lenders, no credit checks. So we usually get you money quicker and cheaper than going to your own bank. We also have a discount with BT for superfast broadband. We also do the workplace pension and we do payroll at £5 a payroll. We have a benefit we hope our members never need, FSB Care. Now this is free, but let me just clarify this one, Alison. It's not boop or anything grand like that. FSB Care is a benefit. If any of our members have been in hospital with an illness or an injury, you could have to be months at home recuperating. We send professional carers to your home to nurse you back to health. We signpost you to any charities that might be able to help you as well. We do stress counselling, we do physiotherapy. I've just had one member, a self-employed electrician. He was off work with a bad back. I got him 5 courses of physio, £45 a shot, all paid for by FSB Care. He's back at work now. So it's one of them, again, we hope you never need it, but yeah, we do support you. Latest benefit is we've just teamed up with the skills training company to provide online CPD, continual personal development courses.
Yeah.
That you can buy as a member of the FSB, £80, you can buy 690 CPD courses. You're never going to do 690 in a year, but you can pick and choose the ones you're going to do. Just one example, if you're in the food industry, which a lot of people listening to this podcast will be, there's level 1, 2, 3, and 4 food hygiene certificates there, you know, and if you're in the care home industry or children's nursery, there's all the safeguarding ones. And so pick and choose the ones you want, but for 690 courses for £80, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, they provide training courses to Tesco and the Bank of England, places like that, and they've teamed up with FSB, and you cannot go to the skills training company and get it cheaper than that as well through the FSB. Fantastic. Wow. We have all the online networking. Now, our area, obviously, Lancashire, Cumbria, but there is no restrictions anywhere in the you can do London, Glasgow, Belfast, Cardiff, anywhere whatsoever you can do the networking, which is all free. But separate to the networking, we have webinars that keep you up to date with everything. Yeah. When COVID came out and they brought the furlough scheme in place, nobody even knew what furlough meant. We had 10,000 people on that, so very popular our webinars. They're more informative and educational because in business you're expected to know everything, but nobody tells you anything. You've got to find it out yourself. So we put the webinars on to try and inform and educate, and there's usually one every month on hospitality as well. So they're quite informative and educational. So that's like a summary of the package of benefits. It just works whatever your business. There is 2 sides to business, like I said before. So I've talked to people who said, oh, I'm in the Butchers Federation. Well, you should be, because that's your trade organisation. They're going to tell you about meat. We're not going to tell you about meat, but the Butchers Federation won't do all the HR and all the other stuff and the tax protection. So we work for any business because, I mean, accountants join the FSB, solicitors join the FSB, mole catchers join the FSB, you know, chimney sweeps join the FSB, because there is that other side of business which you can't know everything. So we fill that gap. We keep our members up to date with everything. We have an employment law bulletin every month. So if the minimum wage gets going up in October, you would get an email in April to say this is what it's going to be. So it's an amazing organisation. And the reason I've been with it so long is because I just 100% believe in it. It's a joy to go out every day and meet all the small businesses and help and support them. And also I give everybody my mobile phone as well. And I say, I don't know all the answers, but I know the people who know the answers. So any queries, any problems, touch base with me. I can usually sort a lot of things out with a very quick phone call as well. So my 5 top tips for small businesses.
Yeah, so the thing that I wanted to say, Alan, is it is interesting, and I wondered right at the beginning, you know, when I first met you, and you signed me up on FSB, I was like, what is the catch? There must be a
Yeah, yeah,
catch.
yeah.
And there isn't. You know, I have really benefited it, and I've passed on so many clients because I just think the amount of money I used to spend on HR advice alone per month was far exceeding what I would have been spending per year with you,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
getting 24/7 instead of, you know, 9 to 5, 5 days a week, which
yeah,
is unbelievable. And I'm living proof of it. You know, I've experienced it. And I know you've gone through the what's unique and different about FSB as in any other organisation, um, you know, and how you help the hospitality industry right now, but also business right now. You've also gone through that in the fact that you literally will support them. I mean, the HR advice alone and the fact that you pay for everything in the event, you know, that they go to court.
yeah,
Obviously, they've got to follow exactly what you tell them to follow.
yeah.
The lawyers tell them to follow, but it's just such a gift that keeps giving. And I didn't realize, you know, all the training courses that have been added. And I also didn't know about the co-op bank.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's more and more things happening all the time.
Yeah. I think
So
just on the HR, Alison, like the small companies, they can't afford the HR department, so that
no,
for that. But some of the bigger companies, they will have a HR person or two HR people. This is a fantastic tool for the business owner to give to them HR people,
yeah,
because they've got literally everything at the fingertips, and they're not having to reinvent the wheel all the time, drawing policies up. It's all done for you. They're all Word
yeah,
documents, policies, they're all Word documents you can customize. But we're also on the end of the phone 24/7 to help the people with that as well. Because if you don't understand the paragraph, you don't understand it, you know. So they can pick that
yeah,
phone and say, I'm not familiar with this. What does it mean? And we'll tell them, in your case, it doesn't matter, highlight and delete, take the whole paragraph out, or we'll tell
yeah,
them the importance of this particular paragraph, how important it is, make sure you word this right and that. So even the bigger companies do join the FSB. We go up to 249 staff, but we have a lot of members with 60, 70, 80 staff, where they give the HR people the tools to do the job with it as well.
yeah. And the health and safety as well, and the insurance. I mean, my insurance alone when I got the office, you know, was I got it a lot cheaper through FSB, but also they taught me through every element what I needed to make sure I was completely covered. And I thought, gosh, I didn't get this off the other company who I won't name, but the other company was not as kind, and certainly didn't go through in detail to make sure I was completely covered in my business.
We have an insurance advice line.
Yeah.
So even if you don't have insurance with us, you can still use the FSB insurance advice line.
Wow.
So a lot of members don't know whether they've got the right insurance or not, and we'll inform them if you have. And we'll be very honest. You know, if they say, right, I've got this policy, we'll say, yeah, that's a good deal, stay with that one. If it's not, we'll go to the market for you on your behalf, and we'll search the market for you. But we're just had a case recently with a guy who manufactured fire lifts for the back of hotels, you know, the big steel fire steps. And he joined the FSB and he said, yeah, have a go at my insurance. Yeah, he said, there it is. He said, £600. We couldn't get anywhere near it. We were coming about £1,460, something like that. Nowhere near it. And we said, there's something not right here. Can you email us across your policy? So we looked at it all, and going right down the list, everything, tickety-boo, everything's fine. And right at the very bottom, there it was. He was insured at his factory to manufacture them, but he wasn't insured to install them at the back of the hotels, which is where any potential problems would be. So when he pointed out the error of his ways, he happily paid the £1,460
Yeah.
that going for. So we'll make sure our members always have the right insurance as well.
Yeah. That's incredible. That is so.
Well, you've got an expensive piece of paper. If you haven't got the right policy, you have got an expensive piece of paper, because
yeah.
won't pay out. It just won't pay out on it. So,
Yeah. Gosh,
yeah.
so Alan, what are you? Because I always ask them, what are the 5 top tips, and I know you were eager to tell me earlier. What are your 5 top tips, Alan?
Well, a big one is keep it simple.
Yeah.
You know, make sure all your documentation is. I think, especially when you're starting off in business, get all your policies and procedures in place, which we will help you with every step of the way. Because as you grow your business, a lot of people sort of wing it to start with. They'll get 4 or 5 staff because they're good at what they do. That's what they, they've started a business because they are good at what they do. But then there's all this other stuff comes into place. You've got employment contracts to get into, and if you don't get it in place with the first one, you can't then go to people when you've got 10 staff and say, "Oh, I need you to sign this, I need you to sign that."
Yeah.
Well, no. So I always say, even with one person, make sure you've got it right. So if you do grow and you end up with more employees, everything is in place. So keep it simple, keep your documentation up to date as well. Focus on your customers. It's not about you. It's all about the customers. Make sure you're giving fantastic service and always be there for them, and things do go wrong. Make sure you fix them right away. Hold your hand up. Yeah, sorry, didn't do what we should have done there, and just fix it and whatever, compensate them for it or whatever. Take advice. That's the big thing. A lot of I've met so many people who think they know it all, and I want to paddle my own canoe and all that. Yeah, you can paddle your own canoe, but it looks better with an outboard motor on. You'll get there a lot quicker. So take advice, even if it's not from the FSB. Take advice from other people who've probably been there and done it, and have good experience on things. Pay people on time. That's the big one. That's a big ethos of the FSB. If you we're totally against late payers. It's a big campaign of ours to stop late payment. So it starts with those small businesses. Pay people on time. So that's the big thing. So going back to the catch, there's no catch. It is a big, fat, juicy, ethical bribe, because we need members. Because when we're in front of government, we need to maintain our position as the #1 business support organisation. So it gives us that voice. So we pile it high, we sell it cheap. It gives us the numbers we need. It gives the members the benefits, basically. So yeah, no catch at all. 26 years, I'm still waiting for it.
And interesting, I mean, can you say how much from? I know it's difficult because obviously for a one person in an organisation to multi-million-pound organisation, but it depends on on numbers of people, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're not based on turnover levels. We're based on staffing levels.
Yeah.
So every price I'm going to quote now, the first year is plus £30 registration fee. So if you've no staff, it's £147 plus your £30 registration fee. If you've got up to 4 staff, it's £199. If you've got up to from 5 to 10, it's £253, and then it goes up to 304, and it goes on and on until up to 249 staff. There is no VAT on that membership. Actually, we have charitable status because we're owned by the members, so we are exempt of that. But it is tax deductible. It's 100% tax deductible business expense. I would say use the services. It pays for it. What you save on bank charges, what you save on insurances, it usually costs you not to be a member. But the reality of running a business now in the UK, most accountants do sell insurance policies for tax investigations. And I got a letter a couple of weeks ago from my accountant. He wants £372 a year just for that whole thing. And they are doing the job by trying to sell you them, because if you get a tax investigation, the average 17 months, and they cost you about £4,000 or £5,000 in accountancy fee. So the accountant's selling you them, so you're not paying 4 or 5 grand. But you've got that cover for 147 or from £147 with the FSB. So yeah, everybody does wonder what the catch is, but it works a bit like the AA or the RSC. It's a numbers game. We've worked on that basis since 1974. So if the AA, if everybody brought down, they go bust. If everybody in the FSB got an employment tribunal, we go bust. But it doesn't. It's a numbers game that just works. Amazing organisation, all from that game of golf in 1974. It's fantastic.
Amazing. And it's when you look at it, you've got lots of examples, Alan. I love to hear all your examples. I think that's really been one, the fire exit, that is quite scary, and that's happening in a lot of businesses. I go into lots of different businesses for lots of different reasons, and I agree with you. I always say, no matter what size of business, you've got to get the basics right. Keep it simple. Get the basics right at the beginning. Like mission, vision, ethics, and values is a crucial as a foundation for businesses. And lots of people think it's only when it's only when it's a corporate entity. And they say the same about, contracts and HR, and you think it's legal. You've got
Yeah.
it, got to have it. It's really important. And I love that. It's such great top tips with a massive value.
I think the big thing is message to get across to small businesses. We're not just there for when things go wrong.
Mm.
If you don't get a tax investigation on employment tribunal or a criminal prosecution, well, fine. We hope you never do. But we're not just about that. That's one part of the FSB is to protect your business, but the other part is to support your business with all the legal documentation, the advice 24/7, and the emails that keep you up to date with everything as well. And then we're a one-stop. We're a very trusted organisation. Members trust the FSB, and they stay with us for years and years and years. I've got members I've signed up 26 years ago. We've got members who joined in 1974, and most of them have passed away by now, but there's still one or two who joined in 1974. So they don't leave us, because once they know that support, why would you not want that support to be with you for such a low cost? It's 50 pence a day. It's not even that, 49 pence a day for a sole trader.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and whatever we bring out to the membership, the members can trust that we've done all the due diligence. Like when we bring a deal out to anybody, like we've just with the Co-op Bank, everything's ticked off. It's all the due diligence has been gone through. Members trust that, right, that's the FSB banking deal. When we've just done the deal with the training, that's gone a lot through a lot of processes that to bring it to the membership. We don't just bring anything to the membership for the sake. There's so many people trying to team up with the FSB to bring things to us, but we do, so it takes so much time to do the proper due diligence, so members can trust that we're not bringing some charlatans in front of them. It will always be quality deals. Yeah, and it just works, whatever the business, it really does. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. So if someone was sitting on the fence now, I'd be going, why on earth would you be sitting on the fence now after Alan explaining in detail exactly what you've got? If they were, what would I rave about you all the time. I constantly talk about you and wish I'd known you when I was general manager in the hospitality industry. That would have been, it'd saved me a fortune and also saved me a lot of headaches as well. But if they're sitting on the fence right now, what would your past, present, and clients say to them? What is it, something that they would say?
I would say you're only ever in for 1 year. There's no 5-year deal or anything. Just give it a go for 1 year and try it, and you will be pleased that you did it. I'm sure you will. It will just work for your business. Whatever your business is, it will work for you, because there is that other side of business which nobody knows everything about. So that's we plug that gap. Give it a go. It's cheap as chips. Give it a go for a year, and then if you don't want to be in it, that's it. We don't want you in it if you don't want to be a member. So it lets you give it a go and try it all. But,
And what I would recommend as well, Alan, is if you're in the Lancashire and Cumbria area, is get Alan in to have a chat. Let him have a look through everything that you've got and decide then, it's so important because you are a membership advisor, aren't you?
That's my role. Yeah, I come see you and go through it, and specifically with you and your business, and any questions I'll give you the ballpark of what it's all about there, but you will have some things you want to talk to me about. Everything's very confidential. It never leaves the room. I'll come and see you, go through everything, and if you join the FSB, you join. If you don't, you don't. But at least I'll have shown you all the documentation that is available to you, and all the other things that we can help you with your business. Yeah, it's a pleasure to go out every day and see 4 or 5 nice businesses. It's not like trying to sell double glazing or anything. It's a job. We literally go out there every day and visit. So we've got some amazing businesses in this area, Lancashire, Cumbria, fantastic. And we have awards as well, by the way. We have the FSB awards. It's coming to the national awards is on the 18th of May, so that finishes. So it all starts again after the 18th of May. So you can apply for, if you want to apply for the FSB awards. So there's regional awards, Northwest, and then there's they go on to the national awards. And this is all various categories. There's new startup, there's small business of the year, apprentice of the year, all that type of thing. There's best hospitality, of the year and all that sort of thing. So yeah, have a look at the FSB. Just Google FSB awards.
That's amazing, amazing, and so much included is unbelievable. And if somebody was all throughout the country, throughout the UK, you could pass details on to people, couldn't you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've got colleagues all around the UK. We're in every nook and cranny from the Isle of Wight to Shetland. I've got colleagues all around. Like, if you're in anywhere other than Lancashire, Cumbria, just contact me, and yeah, I'll put you on to the right person.
Fantastic.
And they'll look after you as well. So as well as getting everything, you do get the membership advisor, which they know the area very well, and they have a lot of contacts that could help you. And I've got loads of contacts as well, and I don't get a penny off anybody. I don't want a penny off anybody. The deal is with me is look after my members. I'll put people your way if they want your services. So I've got good accountants and solicitors. I've got web designers, all that. And the deal is just look after the members. And yeah, the membership advisors all around the UK will have that other list of contacts as well. They will put you onto the right people. I've sorted the wheat from the chaff out over the years, and one or two have let me down, and they don't ever get a phone call from me anymore. So the ones who are 26 years down the road, they're all top professional people who know that they have to look after you.
Brilliant. I love that. So Alan, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, just one final thing, Alison, is membership of the FSB is personal, which means if you have other business interests, it covers all them. You don't have to join the FSB again and again and again if you've got 2 or 3 businesses. We have some members who've got 5, 6, 7 businesses. It covers all their business interests. So one membership because it's personal.
That's it. It's amazing, and I'm very lucky because I've got 2 businesses, and it covers all of mine. So that's really great, and it's true. Everything that you hear is exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So Alan, how can anybody get in touch with you? What's the best way that people can get in touch with you?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn. If you just go Alan Hughes FSB, I'm on LinkedIn. You can email me, so it's Alan with 1 L, alan.hughes, HUGHES, @fsb.org.uk. I also give everybody my mobile, so it's 07970 204 630. I look forward to speaking to any of you.
Brilliant. And we'll put all Alan's details at the end of our Showcase Sunday this week. And thank you so much, Alan. It's been an honour and pleasure to interview you, to see you and have you as a guest speaker on our Showcase Sunday. It's always a pleasure, Alan. Thank you so much.
It's a great pleasure for me, Alison. Thank you very much. And you're one of my contacts who I would tell to everybody. So you're very professional at what you do, and I love all that sort of passion that the small business owners have in the area. It's fantastic.
Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you.